it's Erica back on the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. Hi! We're giving it a little wave. And today we're going to play with the Eccentric Circles hot foil plate. And we're also going to be trying the Opal Foil. So this is a super delicate and shimmery foil. And I've already cut this down. But I'm using Erin Lee cardstock. So this is black shiny cardstock. It looks super cool. And as I said, I've already cut down my foils to fit the cardstock. I've used a little bit of very low tack post-it tape to keep it all in place, because this piece of cardstock, yes, I'm living on the wild edge here. It is an A2 size, so 5.5 by 4.25. So we're gonna make sure that it stays where it's supposed to go. And heads up, I failed, a big time fail. So, but we're going to run through this anyway. So we're going to pop down our shims, and then we're going to turn the timer button on, and then we're going to let that run through. But I do keep my machine hot when I'm hot foiling, just, you know, heads up. If you haven't seen the video on sort of the hot foiling tips and tricks, I highly recommend you watch that if you are sort of a little bit worried about the whole foiling process and things like that. I go through tips and tricks of what works for me, what doesn't work for me, etc. So if you haven't, make sure you check that one out. Now we have rolled this through our die cutting machine, so we're going to pop the actual plate back onto the platform, and then we're going to peel and reveal. And yeah, it did not work out. Even though it was sped up, you might have noticed there was a little bit of faffing there before we rolled through. So yeah, I think the plate moved, the paper moved, something moved, and it did not come out well. I mean, it looks kind of cool though on that cardstock, so I will be trying this again. But, you know, we are not going to give up. We are going to grab our big box, or I think my big box of foils, and we're going to try another color, because why not, right? You know, the hot foil plate is already hot, so might as well. Now, there was a choice here between Speckled Aura, which is this one that I'm holding up, and Rainbow, but I have done so many rainbows already. Oh, I know, I said it. Ooh, I know, crazy, right? But we are going to be trying this Speckled Aura foil, which sadly I'm kicking myself. It's not stocked in the Crafty Meraki store, but I will be begging Bindu on bare knees and, you know, with my puppy dog eyes that she will stock this one as well, because it is gorgeous. We're going to trim this down so that we're using just only as much as we need. And then we are going to try to line this up so that I can actually see like where the hot foil plate is, to try to make sure that we get it somewhat straight on. So we're going to use the same low tack post-it tape to hold the foil in place, and we're going to place this down very carefully and very deliberately. Yes, we're going to try to get this in the right place, and then we're going to put our shims down, and then we're going to touch the button. Yes, we're going to press the button, the timer button, and then we're going to roll this through our die cutting machine. And we're going to try to avoid that faff that I did with the first one, because obviously that just did not agree with the foiling process. So that's finished. We are going to pop this whole thing back onto the machine to make sure everything stays warm. And then, are you ready? We're going to peel and reveal. And this worked out much better. This looks so cool on that shiny black cardstock. Look at that. It's like magic. Ooh, yes. So slightly wonky still, so we're going to have to trim this down. But, you know, not bad. Not bad, right? It is a shame that the Opal one didn't work out. As in, you know, it foiled fine, except it foiled where it shouldn't have foiled because of the movement and everything. But, you know, you live and learn somewhat. Now, I have here a coloring piece that I never end up actually putting onto a card. So I'm going to make my own black cardstock, because I don't want to waste lush, shiny cardstock. So with the help of a Copic marker, we're just going to draw black lines around and make our own. Now, because we have this negative, while I was coloring, I popped my solid hot foil plate on, and we are going to make a background of this as well. Oh, yes, we are. And I'm going to be using this is actually the paper that I recommend in the tips and tricks video. So this, I want to say, is Color Copy. And I cannot remember the making the model of the paper. Okay, that's crazy talk. This is what I use. I live in Spain, so I don't have access to hammer mill because it's crazy expensive over here. But if you notice here, So we're going to move the hot foil machine away. So this is real time rolling. So there's no speeding up, there's no slowing down. And as you're going through, when I use a hot foil plate, I roll through twice. So we're going to roll through one way and then we're going to roll through the back way. Or back. We're going to roll this way and then back. And then we're going to peel and reveal. So you can see like where the hot foil plate, the solid hot foil plate has been, because it's all like indented. And then we're going to peel this off. And look at that. There's like hardly anything left on this. How cool is that? And that turned out pretty cool as well. But again, it was a little bit wonky. So we're going to trim this down. And then we're going to figure out what we're going to do with these. So is it going to be yellow? Is it going to be a white card base? I decided to go classic white and gold and black and gold. So even though this looked really cool with the yellow cardstock, I decided to go simple and classic. So a little bit of double-sided tape and onto a card base. And here we have our 2 card bases. Now we're going to add some flowers. This is the Elegance hot foil plate, which is the new edition. So there's a stamp for this as well, if you rather heat emboss or just stamp. And then we're going to use some luscious Pinkfresh inks. So we're going to use the entire yellow suite. So there's Lemon Whip, Sunshine, Sweet Mustard, and a Marigold. And then we're going to use Grassy Knoll and Olive for the leaves. So first of all, we're going to put a little bit of washi tape on to the back of the actual cardstock itself. And then we're going to ink blend a little bit with at least 2 colors on each layer of the petals, because I just feel like even though the layering stencils are designed to give depth and definition, I just like that little bit of extra kind of like depth that you get from adding at least 2 different colors. So we're going to go through all of these layers and then we're going to see how these flowers are really coming to life. And I actually really love watching these in a time lapse, because it's like magic. It's just evolving in front of your eyes at such a speed. It's so cool. Now I will be making a video with these stencils and I will be going in a lot slower, just so that you can actually see like how I use them. But for this video, we're just going to speed through this because we just want to add color and get that result. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Oh, I love that. And then we're going to use the coordinating die cut and cut this out. And we're going to be a little bit of a rebel here, because we're going to get a 2 for 1. So we're going to slice this in half. Oh yes, we are. Be bold, my friends. And then we're going to use 1/2 each on these cards. So it really is a 2 for 1. And then we're going to have a sentiment from the Handmade Love hot foil sentiment suite. So you can see here, I've done a lot in different colors. There is white with gold, there is white with rose gold, there is white with rainbow, there is black with gold. I have so many, because you can do all of those sentiments and cut them out in one go. So you don't have to fiff-faff about and like do 1 or 2 here and there. You can do the whole plate and get all them all done in one go. It's super cool and such a time saver. So here we are going to be adding the flowers down with a little bit of glue. So I'm using the Nuvo adhesive, Deluxe adhesive even, and a little bit of foam tape for the sentiment, so that we still get a little bit of depth and definition. So the flower is going to be flat and the sentiment is going to be raised. And then we're going to trim down the leaves a little bit so that they don't stick out too much, because we still want to fit these into a normal sized, like it's an A6 envelope. And but that is a 2 for 1, like proper 2 for 1. So we have used the 2 bits of the foil, we have used only 1 flower, cut it in half, and with 1 turn of the Handmade Love sentiments, we have our sentiments done. That's it, all done.